Mirrumbik, Faye, Mirrumbik, Wamba Wamba, Babunwarang. I've said that I am a Wamba Wamba and a Bunwarang person, and Mirrumbik is my name is. So my name is Faye.
We're really thrilled this year to be working in partnership with the Victorian Aboriginal Corporation for Languages to present a series of Indigenous language workshops that have been created in response to projects as part of Next Wave Festival.
A lot of our elders have now passed on, so they have taken that language with them. So this is why we at VACL are reviving the languages again. Both my mum and my grandmother have since passed, and I'm now stepping up as the elder for my clan.
The first workshop was an introduction to revival languages, and that was set at Westbase alongside exhibitions The Fraud Complex as well as Decolonist.
Language is really critical within Aboriginal context. Culture really can't exist without language, and language, obviously is the articulation of culture. That's how incredibly important it is in terms of cultural revival, cultural strengthening, and how that impacts on one's identity and sense of well-being.
I think there's a tendency for non-Indigenous people such as myself to kind of generalise Aboriginal culture as being all the same kind of thing. It's really not that way at all.
The second workshop took place at Abbotsford Convent alongside Eva Abinga's work, Arrival of the Raja. The third workshop took place in the meat market in response to the works of Claire Robertson. So Mandy Nicholson, Wurundjeri woman and project officer at VACL, led the middle two workshops.
I think non-Indigenous people will gain so much information about our culture, and it'll really turn away from that us and them mentality that's through the school system, and it'll really enrich their lives about them learning everything that they can and how important and how fantastic and rich our culture is, and it helps break down stereotypes and fear of difference. Do any of you know how many languages there are in Victoria? Aboriginal languages? Oh, yeah, pretty close. There's 38 languages, and within those languages there's different dialects, so different regional dialects. So
the reason why I came today is I'm interested in Indigenous cultures, especially Indigenous cultures around Melbourne, and I want to learn more about the people who live on this land and have lived on this land that I'm now living on, and I thought this was a cool opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I think it's important that there's a revival of languages, or revival languages are important as an act of decolonisation and empowerment.
Language is one of the most important things that there is, and I guess that's why I was kind of sad just hearing that there's been two generations that were obviously fluent in the language was banned from talking it. And it's obviously the government's intent to do that to the people, to take away their identity by removing language.
The final workshop was held at Northcote Town Hall and was in response to two performance works, Misconceived by Thomas E.S. Kelly and Black Cat by Muriel Spearham.
Well, it's a language that shouldn't be discredited. It was the first language of the first peoples of this country, so we need to bring it back to be spoken with all the other diverse languages that live within our communities nowadays.
The way that language connects people to their country is, that's just a fundamental building block of Indigenous cultures. So I think for those cultures to survive and grow, the language has to survive and grow as well.
What we would love to see happen as coming out of these workshops would be to see more Indigenous place names being used in everyday life, Indigenous words and language and culture being brought to the surface and reminding us of whose land that we're on.
No, I just think this was a really fantastic partnership between Next Wave and VACL, and I'd love to see more of those partnerships in the arts, and I feel very grateful to have been able to be part of the workshop.
I just feel that it's a real privilege for me to be teaching language and to be out, speaking about it to the wider community as well.